What's up everybody, Noble Elite Airsoft here, and in today's episode of Q&A Sunday we're going to be answering some questions from Heavy Water Airsoft Team. So they're going to ask green gas versus CO2, field versus CQB, field versus milsim, and what to pack for field, CQB, and milsim ops. So first I'm going to go over the green gas and the CO2 situation. So CO2 and green gas both have pros and cons. In CO2 you're going to get more power, but it's also going to be more expensive than what you're going to pay for green gas, and it's not going to have any lubrication in it, so you're going to have to lube your gun yourself a lot more often. You won't have to do that with green gas because it has built-in silicone oil in there, so you won't have to lube your gun as often. But green gas is less powerful than CO2, but on the bright side, like I said, it does have lubrication built in, and it's less expensive than CO2. With CO2, you'd pay anywhere from around 50 to 75 cents per one of these cartridges, but when you buy green gas, you're not going to have to pay nearly as much. Alright, so I'm going to do what you need to bring to a field first. So, when I go to a field, I'm going to obviously bring my primary. I'm not going to be too much worried about a secondary since I'm not going to be running out of ammo and not having time to reload. I'm also going to bring 2 batteries, and if you want to, you can even bring a charger with you because you will be shooting quite a bit. So you want to make sure you have extra batteries in case one of them runs out. Now I'm going to always bring goggles when I go, not a full face mask, because when you wear a full face mask at a field, you're going to get very hot very quickly, especially if you live where I live and it's hot most of the time. So I recommend wearing goggles and like a lower steel mesh mask. Next, I'm always going to bring some sort of tools with me in case something breaks on the field. You're going to want to bring something to back you up in case something does break. Next, for the ammo, you're going to want to bring a lot of ammo. However, don't just bring any ammo, bring heavier ammo. .25, .3s are going to be what you mainly want to bring there. Because when you go to the field, you want your gun to be as accurate as possible because you're going to be shooting quite long ranges a lot of the time instead of close range engagements. So always bring heavier ammo than you would to a CQB. Alright, next I'm going to be going over what equipment you should bring when you go to the field. Now what I'm always going to bring, you always want to wear camo. You don't want to wear any solid colors. You want to blend into your surroundings real nice. Around here, we live in a place where there's a bunch of thick vegetation, so I'm going to wear a type of pattern like this, and here's a little pro tip. If you wear pants that are darker, then your shirt that you're going to wear, it's going to help blend you in because you're going to have the ground color over here, and then there's going to be the tree line color over here. So that's going to help you blend in a lot better. Like I said, always bring goggles because you don't want to get hot, and if your field makes you wear a lower steel mesh mask, it's going to keep you from getting hot. And then another thing that you're going to really want to do a lot of the time is wear a hat. One, it keeps you from getting hit in the head, and it's going to keep you from getting spotted because the top part of your head doesn't exactly blend in with your surroundings. Alright, so next we're going to be doing what you need to be bringing to your CQB match. Now, for this CQB thing, I'm going to be basing the CQB off an indoor game, not an outdoor game CQB, because when I play CQB, I always play indoor because it just makes the whole feel a lot more realistic to me. So, the main things you're going to need to bring to a CQB game: extra magazines. Very important when you're playing this type of game because you need to do reloads on the fly and you need to do them fast. Now for your pistols, You're definitely going to be wanting to run a secondary in case you run out of ammo and you need to take out an extra target faster. And so for your secondary, always bring a speed loader, because you're going to need that when you're reloading your pistol, because if you do it by hand, it's just going to take a lot more time than you want. Now over here you can see I have some lighter weight BBs. This is because when you're playing CQB, the accuracy of your gun does not matter most of the time since it's such close quarters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring lighter weight BBs, so that way my BBs are going to get to the target faster and they won't have as much time to react when they see the BBs flying at them. I would prefer 0.2 gram BBs and maybe on occasion even 12s. And then next what you're going to bring is a more powerful battery if you have one. This is going to up your rate of fire and give you an edge on your opponent. You're also going to need a laser, a flashlight, and a red dot sight. Now these things don't matter as much for field play, but when you're going to CQB, you're going to need this to get on target much faster and again giving yourself an edge over your opponent. And then one last thing, you want to be wearing a full face mask when you go to play close quarters games, because when you're so close, when the BBs hit you, if they hit you in the face or the ears, it's going to hurt a lot. So always make sure you're wearing a full face mask when you're playing close quarter games. Alright, now for the equipment you must bring to a CQB game. It's almost absolutely imperative that you bring a tactical vest. You need a lot of ammo and magazines, and you don't have anywhere to put them if you don't have a vest. Now, if you're wondering how am I going to get a vest because you don't have the budget to get one, they sell these Crossman Tactical or Crossman Elite vests, and they only cost about 20 bucks. They're really good for your money, so you're going to get a lot out of what you pay for. Next, as I said before, wear a full face mask because you don't want to get hit in the face from such a short distance away, because that would be quite painful. Next, I don't have it here, but you're definitely going to want to wear a solid color dark shirt and dark pants, because you definitely want to blend into the darkness when you're playing indoor CQB. Next, always bring a holster if you're running a secondary. Don't try to keep it, I don't know where you would keep it. I've seen some people do some crazy stuff with their pockets and stuff. But always make sure you wear a holster. You wear all this, you're going to be quicker and just overall more deadly if you wear all of this stuff when you go to play indoor CQB. Alright guys, so now we're going to talk about milsims. Milsims are definitely the next step up from your average local field or indoor CQB arena. So when you go to a milsim, you're definitely going to need to bring everything you have. This means from food and water to eating on the field to even bringing extra magazines, ammo, and batteries. So when you go to this milsim event that you're planning to go to, you're going to make sure you read all the rules that they're making all the players do. This covers wearing the right equipment to the game, to even some milsims bringing the right gun. So when you go to a milsim, the chance of something breaking while you're there is very high, so you're going to want to bring almost an extra of everything if you have something, even an extra gun. Now, since the chances of something breaking are very high, definitely bring something that you can fix stuff with. It can be a little toolbox or anything. Basically, what you need is a couple screwdrivers and Allen wrenches and a multi-tool, and you should be able to fix most things. So also when you go to a milsim event, definitely bring a battery charger. It's going to be very important because unless you have 20 batteries, the chances are you're going to run out of battery power during the game or in between games, and you're going to need some more battery to keep going, since milsim events are 1 to 2 days depending on where you go. Alright, so guys, now it's the part of the video where I have to share what I would rather do. We have field play, which obviously it's going to give you a mix of everything. You're going to have your long range engagements and your CQB at some points in the game. With CQB, there's going to be a lot of close quarters combat, and if that's not your strong suit, then you're probably not going to enjoy it as much. Milsims are definitely the next thing up from that, and it requires a lot of preparation and knowledge to what it's going to be like. So personally, I'm going to go with the generic answer, saying I like field play the best, just because it offers a wide variety of everything that you can't get at a milsim or a CQB. I think for me, milsim would definitely be next, because it does give you that sense of realism, and depending on where you go, it's definitely going to be way better than anything that you would witness at a regular field or CQB game. And then last for me is probably CQB, because most people, not most people, but for me, CQB is not something I am the greatest at. I am more of a long-range engagement person, like to take my enemies out at a range. So that's probably going to come in last place for me. But it's all going to depend on what you guys like. If you guys like the realism, definitely go for a milsim. If you like the close quarters action, all the time, in your face, definitely go for the CQB. If you guys like a mix of everything with the long range and CQB, definitely find a local field or a field somewhere close to you, and it's always a good time. Alright guys, so thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions you want me to answer for the next Q&A Sunday, make sure you put your questions down in the description, and I'm going to try to get to all of them next week. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.